Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you've had a great week. I am counting down the days to the beginning of school, which is coming ever so closely, but also counting the days to the wonderful Home Dad Con as well. So there's, all kinds of pluses all around.
Yep. September is my best month right now. September is absolutely my best month because kids go back to school and home dad gone.
Yeah, there you go.
Wait.
Can't beat that, definitely.
And I can wait a little bit actually on the kids going back to school. My summer's been really good. I mean, it's been really garbage. There's been a lot of bad things that happen, but the reality of it, it's been great. It's still, we've had a lot of good time with the kids. We haven't been able to haven't gone a lot of places, like we planned. And we spent a lot of money on cars and repairs and broken things. And my oven is still broken. And I got to wait until September to get somebody out here to fix it. It's just not in the budget, but it's fine because summer is a great time to not use your oven.
Right.
I mean, I've got my
It's already an
Blackstone.
oven outside.
Yep, exactly. Maybe not for us. It's 64 right now, just saying. But actually, it's 57 in town. It's 64 here at the Mercer stronghold. But yeah. But
This
getting
has
out
been
on
your
the
Wisconsin weather report.
I made frozen pizza, right? Because we keep frozen pizza in the house all the time because there's always.
I thought
you
made it like you made pizza and you froze it outside because it's Wisconsin. Like that's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, it's summer, so we can do that. We can do that. Yeah. Do you need a cooler? Why would I need a cooler ever?
Yeah.
But no, but we put them on the Blackstone, and I mean it's a very tricky process. Let me say because the Blackstone heats up really, really hot, really, really fast. You gotta keep your heat low. You gotta check it. I couldn't find my infrared thermometer to check.
Do you cover it? Do you cover it anyway?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Because one of the things you can do is I think the better way to do it is to put it on a grate or a stone, but we just put it right on the griddle. That crisped it a little bit. But the other thing is because I put some fresh vegetables on top of one of them and sprinkled a little bit of water on it and put the steamer lid on.
Yeah.
Like you would the vegetables were great.
Okay.
It still burned a little bit, but the crust was crispy. That's what we want, right? We want crispy pizza. But what I'm saying is it's plenty of time. I don't need the oven right now. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Well, have you seen where you can, I think it's at Aldi. I was just there recently. They actually have like an outdoor like pizza oven that you can get. And
Blackstone one, you mean, or just in general?
I mean, it's not Blackstone specifically, but it's
got a nice one.
Yeah, I mean it's a off-brand of Blackstone, but I mean it's the same functionality to it. So yeah, I've seen that a few times, and it's not badly priced. I mean for what you want to do, that kind of thing, and of course you're only going to pull it out for a few months out of the year to use it outside more than likely. So
yeah,
but yeah, no, that's cool, man. It's neat to see what all you can do with the griddles and that kind of thing.
And like with anything, it's just a fire source.
Yeah. How did the hamburgers turn out from the other week?
Good. Not great, but good.
He's learning.
Good. Yeah, they were still pink. He made them too thick. And again, it's a learning process, but I mean, it was fine. We had a couple of them. I think he made like 8, and which is more than enough right now. And they were good. Again, the one I had, the outside edges were great, perfectly cooked. Bit into the middle, yeah, I think it mooed at me. It was not right. But
you had an Encino Man. You had an Encino Man burrito, is what you ended up having. On the outside, popsicle in the middle.
Popsicle in the middle. But it was fine because we took the meat that didn't cook and recooked it, just crumble it up, put it in pan, and then added spaghetti sauce to it. So we used it. It was just, it wasn't what he wanted. But the cool thing is he's fine with it. He's looking at it as a learning experience. He says, "Oh yeah, okay, so I got to learn to do this and this," and he's not upset. He's not down on himself. He's not like, "Oh God, Dad, I suck at this." I love that more than anything else
Yeah.
because if there's
Yeah.
one thing I want my kids to have is the ability to fail forward. I told Lizzie yesterday, she goes, "You know a lot about a lot." I'm like, "Yeah, I know a lot of stuff." I said, "You know why I
Hey,
know a lot of stuff?" And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Because I have screwed up so many things. I have failed so many times." And she looks at me and she goes, "Because we don't learn a lot when we succeed. We learn a lot more when we fail." And I'm like, again, second time one of my kids has actually said something back to me that I'm trying to get them to learn, because that's the truth of it.
have your kids
You
watched The Dark Knight?
No. Well, they might have, but I don't think
Master
they don't
Bruce.
remember. It's just Master Bruce. Master Bruce.
Why do we fall? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Learn to pick ourselves up. That's right. That's right. I didn't think about that. So
No, that's
anyway,
awesome, man.
today we're supposed to have a topic and stick to it. And I told myself we're going to stay on topic today. And I'm like, no, we're not. What are you talking
It's all
about?
good.
That's not what we
You're
do.
we're getting
We're
there. We're
fine.
getting there. It's okay. Hey, I was gonna ask though too, like so with the whole making burgers thing, do
Hmm.
you ever use one of those like weighted plates for like smash burger type of deal, like where you
Hmm.
can set them on there? Yeah.
Hmm. Smash burgers are the best. And
Yeah.
it's basically just onions down, then the beef, and you just smash it with a piece of parchment paper on it. They're delicious. And that's what I normally will do.
Yeah. I just
My
didn't know if that
kid
was
is
something
still
that he
learning.
was using it to like kind of help like thin out his
It
burgers.
it spits a lot, it pops a lot, the grease and everything when you do that. So you will get little burns on your arms or what. I mean, not nothing bad, but
That's why
like
you have a
you'll
national
feel it.
at-home dad network apron to wear.
Not on your arm. Come on.
Long
We're gonna have
sleeves.
to get national at home dad oven mitts and some kind of like the running
Yeah, the
sleeves
running
that
sleeves. Just
this gets so this got our logo down the arm. Yeah, we're gonna merch, man. We're merchandising,
you come out of the house and you're like, "Da-da-da-da,
right?
da-da-da-da-da."
National at home dad network, the toilet paper.
Oh my
National at
gosh.
home dad network, the lunchbox.
That's the
Merchandising.
lunchbox. There you go. Nice. We're working on it. Yeah, no, today's topic, we are going to talk about tips for being a brand new at-home dad. Boy,
Yeah.
we are far from being brand new at-home dads ourselves. We've been in the trenches. We are covered in mud,
Yes.
poop, pee,
Yep.
vomit,
Tears, ours and
tears,
others.
Cheerios, toys, glitter, you name it. We're covered in it. I'm probably still picking out pieces of glitter in my ear from years past. Play-Doh everywhere. That
Slime.
that
Oh,
yes,
slime.
oh yes, slime. I was gonna say
Oh,
the evil
slime.
person who gave your child slime as a
Hmm.
cool Valentine's or holiday gift or whatever.
Or a whistle.
Oh,
Man, we went to the fair
mm,
once, like school fair, and they were giving out whistles, and I'm like, "Do you not have children? How are you get? Why would you give children a whistle?" And they're like, "We just thought it was fun. It was cheap." I'm like, "Uh-huh, uh-huh.
like
How
thank you,
many kids do you
Satan.
have? Because every year for the rest of your life, I'm going to get your kids a whistle
Right?
and your grandkids if you have
I'm
more."
sending my kids when they're seniors over to your house to blow their whistle.
Yep. Hey, hey, boo, 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 they're these great gifts. No, no, they're awful. But
Yeah.
yes, yes, all those things. So being an at-home dad, I think being an at-home parent is a thing. We've talked about it before. There's not a lot of difference in it, but I find that there is enough of a difference that we have to differentiate.
Oh
Because
yeah.
we're not expected yet. We're getting better. I think the young dads are doing it better and better every year, but they don't. You see a dad, and you still kind of have that moment, or at least here in down, small town Wisconsin, where you're like, oh, you're handling this? Oh, okay. It takes them a minute to re-engage. So talking about what you have to deal with, I think when you, in general, like big picture ideas, I'm an at-home dad, doesn't matter how old your kids are. What's the first thing you should do?
Talk to another at-home dad.
Hmm.
If you can.
I gave you a
If you
list,
have the
man.
I know
I
you
gave
gave
I
me a
gave you a
list.
list. No, what's the first thing on the list? That's the most
First
important
thing
thing.
on the list is
Listen
listen to
to
the best podcast for home dads. It's
there it
our
is.
podcast for at-home dads. Listen to us.
So you're doing
We
it right, being here. Okay.
yeah,
After that, we
so
can say anything we want. We got to put that out first. So
that's
go.
out there. Okay, yeah. But no, like I remember we've had this conversation before about how you and I like both our journeys into the world of at-home parenting and whatnot, and the conversations that we had in previous episodes. But I mean, I think it is important, like, one, if you've got another at-home dad nearby that you've been hanging out with occasionally, and you're like, all right, we're gonna make this same move, is sitting down and being like, hey, like, tell me a little bit about your experience, which is what we're gonna go through in areas, but to even hear it from somebody locally,
Hmm.
because you're gonna
Yeah.
get like local perspective on how people have perceived them or things that they've
Yes.
run into, that kind of thing. So it's always good to hear that. And then the other big one for me before really stepping into it is having the hard or intricate conversation with your partner, your spouse, about what is this going to look like?
Hmm.
And really getting to that point. Like, it's one thing to have that conversation because I feel like I'm still having that conversation
Yeah.
with Corey because
Yeah.
there are just times where you just get in your head. And I know, like, we talked about it actually just the other day about the fact I'm like, I know that she's busy and what she's got going on. I'm trying to do my work and also be an at-home parent. And I told her, I was like, there are times where I feel really bad to just even say, hey, I need to go do this or that, like whether it
Hmm.
be for work or just take a moment, because I know that she's also had a very long day.
Right. Yeah.
and and just trying to balance that. But if you're not willing to have that conversation, there'll be there's a wedge that gets just driven in to
Agreed.
your relationship. And that's what causes all kinds of animosity
Hmm.
and resentment and everything
Right.
else. So
Yeah.
have the conversations, be open. I really like Corey's newest thing that she does when she's asking questions. She always says no wrong answer and then asks the question.
Yeah.
I,
Nice.
to me, that is a great diffuser
Uh-huh.
for whatever it is. No wrong answer. What are we doing for dinner tonight?
Hmm.
You know,
That's
to me,
beautiful.
I'm like, I
Absolutely.
don't know. Like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's figure
Yeah.
this out together, kind of deal.
Well, and there you get asked that question so many times.
Oh
I
yeah,
love it that Corey understands that, or at least see it has understands the effect that it has when you ask it. Because I'm done. I'm done with dinner. I'm done making dinner. I love to cook, but I'm at a point where I'm like, look, y'all have destroyed the kitchen. Y'all came in, you cooked, you made mac and cheese. It'll be mac and cheese every time. Made mac and cheese or spaghetti or rice. What are those three things? And they just leave messes everywhere. There's pieces of whatever food everywhere, floor, stove, sink. And I'm done because I have to go in and clean the entire thing. Maybe not the entire thing, but at least 80% so that I actually get in there and work. Right. And so at this point, I'm like, I don't want to talk about what's for dinner.
yeah,
Now, I still cook dinner, I still handle this, but I don't want you to ask me because that really bothers me out. But I love that no wrong answers, doesn't matter. Just tell me what you think, what your ideas are, and then it's not your responsibility.
yeah.
It's what can we do for dinner? And I love that. And you hug Corey's neck for me for being
I will.
nice enough to do
I
that.
So to kind of go along with that too, we'll go back to like the beginning of this, but another thing that is really interesting. So like, Hezekiah and Ruby both know how to cook different
Hmm.
things. They also really enjoy cooking shows. And so there
Nice.
are plenty occasions recently where they will walk into the kitchen and say, "Hey, what's for dinner?" And I, of course, give them the dad answer, food.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Nice. Well
but
done.
Yep. But at the same
Well
time,
done.
too, we've been watching a show on Hulu called Kitchen. I think it's like Mystery Kitchen or something like that. I forget exactly what it is now. But anyway, basically, you have contestants who have to go into a kitchen and look around and see what was used to figure out what was made. And then they have to go back to their kitchen and try to make it based upon what they saw as around.
Wow.
It's really cool. And
Yeah.
so I will
I
be
could go
like,
do that.
well, look around at what is being either cooked or has been used, and
Yeah.
you figure it out.
Nice.
And then when it gets actually placed in front of you, you can see if you guessed right or not.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
that's been a lot of fun. So
Yeah. I mean, it sounds great. Genius.
yeah.
Love it.
So that's another kind of just fun little thing there. But going back to like sort of the beginning thing. So
Hmm.
yes, listen to the podcast. There's
The best.
definitely lots
Listen
of
to the
good
best
things there.
podcast.
The best podcast for you just love jamming that in there. Best podcast for
Hey
I
man,
love
we
it.
got a shirt. Come on.
I know, I know. We need to get that up on the shop so that people can buy that and start wearing it around. Um,
Second, join the
join the
National At Home
national
Dad Network.
yes, join the National At Home Dad Network, become a member because the nice part about that is that you can go and watch all of the different content that we have from previous conventions on there as
Hmm.
well, which there's tons of great stuff on there,
Hmm.
and it's only going to get better as the years go on. So that's another big thing. And then I like what you have here for the first one because this is exactly what my buddy David McMillan told me when I sat down and I was like, so this is what we're thinking about for me becoming a stay-at-home dad, and I don't even know where to begin. And he immediately said, build or get yourself a routine for you and the
Yeah.
kids.
Yes.
Something that it does not have to be ironclad, but a basic outline of this is what we're trying to accomplish throughout the day and throughout the week.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
because you can't really go past that. Sometimes the month is a little bit too big, but you can definitely go day and week and be in a
Right.
good place. So,
Yeah.
but what does that look like for you? Because you and I have definitely different routines, and that's the thing. Like no two at-home dads are the same. We're like all just a bunch of snowflakes. Well, not really snowflakes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And
Definitely
fingerprints.
individuals.
Yeah, different fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that works too.
Yeah.
What is it? So we've talked about routines. What do you have going on? And of course, they change year to year with
And
kids.
it does. It changes year to year and it changes season to season. Because right now we are building up to the end of summer, getting back to school. Right now, our schedule is you get up when you get up. That's just you sleep as long as you need to sleep. How are you feeling? Did we do too much yesterday? I don't wake anybody up right now. That's just for summer. It's just the best way to do it that I found for me and my kids. But as an example, we have a friend sleeping over. So I'm not waking anybody up today. And I'm hoping they sleep till about noon before I have to cook. Cause I'm like, I don't know, man. But yeah,
Cold
it
pizza for
just,
breakfast if you wake up
yeah,
early.
whatever you want. It's perfect. They probably will. Because we did get pizza last night. Because we were on our way home. But we had like a local event last night. We have local events we go to. The community here is always doing something.
Yeah.
So we plan those things out. But we plan just as much recreation and going out time as we do staying home, hanging out in the backyard, just finding some quiet time. Because over the years, I've noticed that, I mean, you'll find when your kids get overstimulated, every kid gets overstimulated at a point, and that's where you have the ones that are generally having meltdowns, right? They're just at that point where they're just bawling at a store or whatever. We see kids do that all the time, and many reasons for it, but one of them is overstimulation. So finding time to rest, to relax, to meditate, which is something that my kids are still kind of trying to understand and learn. We'll do, well, I do yoga and they kind of hang out and move. And I don't know if I would say they're doing yoga, but they're learning, they're watching and doing things that are more calm through the summer as well. But then like, hey, let's go walk the trails. Let's go
Yeah.
hiking. Let's go do whatever. But in the evenings is when we have our more public stuff. Like we're going to go tonight. There's a local group for transgender children and their parents, and it's kind of a play group and kind of a support group kind of thing. And we know that on Wednesdays, that's where we go. Still going to Scouts on Mondays. And like every other Wednesday, I should say, we go to Dragons and then we go to Taekwondo, and so we keep those things going. I also keep a bedtime. We moved the bedtime up. It was 9:30 during school and we moved it to 10:30. The kids
You're
are like,
generous.
"What? 10:30? Are you kidding?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." But again, we don't have anything that we have to get up for
Right.
in the morning. I mean, we do some days, but very rarely. We went to like I'm going to take them to Costco with me from now on. We went for our first time with my 11 and 12-year-old to Costco and like taking them with me on any of and I think that's just true always, but I need to go pick up groceries. Y'all need to go with me. You need to understand that this is work. This is not, oh, groceries just appear in the refrigerator, you know? So
Yep.
that's a lot of our routine, but the summer is very slack until next week. And next
Well,
week,
we'll pause for that though.
all
We
right,
won't
go
get
ahead.
into next week just yet. I One of the things I was gonna kind of go back to with that, like, so you're talking about like kids that are in school, like super mobile, that kind of thing. I think one of the things that I hear a lot are from like the brand new dad who also is now taking on the
Mhm.
responsibility of the stay-at-home dad. And it's
Yes.
like,
Bless you.
what do I do with this small child that eats, sleeps, and poops, and that's it? And
Hmm.
like, how do like how do I function in that kind of
Right.
thing? And but what you said about taking your kids to Costco fits right into having that small child. Like, strap them on, man. Like, put them in the baby carrier or
Get a
whatever. Like,
stroller. Yeah.
and just integrate them into your schedule and go
Hmm.
do things. Like, if you are somebody, maybe you're like, hey, like, I like to collect baseball cards or Pokemon cards, something along those lines. All right, great. Take your kid with you, especially when they're
Hmm.
little like that. Like, you got a stroller, if they're asleep, dude, you can still do the things
Yeah.
you need to do. Like, have a good
Yeah.
time with it. Or, hey, I don't feel like I have the ability to be active anymore. Well, you can like just take your kid and go for a walk, or
Hmm.
or if you got to get the ability to get a running stroller, which if you need something like that and you're like, I can't spend the money on that, go on Facebook and look for a buy nothing group in your area, because the amount of things that people just like give away is crazy in a
Hmm.
lot of communities. And so,
Cool.
or if you just even put it out there like ISO, I'm search or in search of or whatever, and put out like you're looking for a jogging thing, like somebody like, oh yeah, like I forgot I had this thing just like collecting dust in the back. Like, you spray it down with a hose and boom, like you got
Yeah.
yourself when you're good to go. Like,
You're
I
ready to
can't
go.
even tell you the amount of times like I've seen that, or even bike trailers for, being able to take kids on that kind of thing.
Hmm.
So that is to me like one of the things that I always tell like any new parent is just integrate your kid. I mean, moms do it all the time. Like, they ain't messing around when it comes down to it. Dads can do the exact same thing, honestly. Like, especially
Hmm.
when it's an at-home parent, like, just integrate them and go. Don't feel like that is going to be the thing that isolates you, because you don't have to be isolated just because your kid is little. Like,
Right.
plenty to
Now,
do.
I will say those first couple of months for me, I always tell people go at the speed of your baby. Nap when your baby naps, if at
Yes.
all possible, because those first couple of months, you're not going to get any sleep. You've got to reset yourself. But once you've gotten through that, you need to, one, I think, is to divide the responsibilities. As an example, for Marnie and I, she was breastfeeding, so she did all the feeding. So basically all I would do is when the little tick started screaming, I would go pick it up and latch it on, right? And then she would generally put him in bed. It would depend on how we do it. But I was not getting any interaction with our little infant. Now, granted, again, they're a little mewling, ball of nothing. There's not a lot of interaction, but I changed all the diapers. And granted, diapers are gross, sure, but one, I changed diapers before, so it wasn't a big deal. But one, I knew by the time they got where it's actual real diapers, where it's
Yeah.
actually poop in there instead of that little like yellow spray or whatever they ended up doing sometimes. I knew how to handle it. I knew how to change it. I could do it like that. I mean, I was professional, right? But making sure that you talk with your partner and divide up what your baby needs into the person that's best to give it to them. You
Yeah.
know, don't take 100%. Don't take 90%. Start out with your partner that, look, we've both got to raise this child right now. Granted, they get a little bit older, your partner needs to go to a work to a job or whatever outside the house or even remote, and you're handling more of it. But with your infant, divide it up. Make sure you're involved and make sure they are too, because you both get better for it. And the baby gets better for it. You know?
Yeah. No, I definitely, that's huge, and I think that a lot of times gets sometimes it gets very much overlooked. So, that whole dividing up responsibilities,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's a part of that conversation you have with your partner on like, what is this going to look like, and
Right.
continuing to have that, because
Where are we at?
it's gonna evolve over
That,
months.
yes. Yeah.
That's, yeah, not
Or
over years.
years.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean, monthly
even
though, it will evolve.
month to month. Yes, especially when they're young. You're changing everything constantly. So,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah,
So
and
that's
then
cool.
once they get big enough, which can be 3 months. I mean, it could be earlier for your kid, but once they're big enough where you can take them out, like you said, you like to hike, go hiking.
Yeah.
Granted, don't go for the 20-mile overnight, whatever. Let's just make sure we're going to go out there, we're going to walk, we're going to get some time in nature, and then we're going to come back. And
Yeah.
every time you go, you're setting a routine. You're establishing with your infant, this is the thing we do, you know? And
Yep.
I think that's very important too, is getting, again, back to it, get the routine. This is what we're going to do. It's 9 o'clock or whatever in the morning. The clock hits this and we go do this thing, and teaching them, because they thrive under a schedule. They thrive with routine. They really, all of us, I think, are just better off when we have that routine.
Yeah.
Take
No,
them with you.
definitely.
Take them
I
with you.
completely agree with that. And you mentioned in the list of things here too, like creating a budget with your partner.
Yes.
And I mean, a budget in general for for your family is
Hmm.
super important. I
Yep.
think that too, like that whole conversation, like coming to the agreement or figuring out like how money works, I think is a
Yes.
huge just conversation piece in general. I mean, the amount of times that we hear where it's like, oh, like, she makes the money type of deal, or they make the money and I stay at home and so it's not my money. And it's like, nope,
Hmm.
getting the mentality that it's, you know,
Our.
it's an hour thing. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
so that way, the hour, like, it makes it a lot easier for, okay, like, we need to get these things, or I would like to purchase this item. Okay, how does that fit into our
Hmm.
budget? And
Right.
even having that conversation, like, hey, is there anything drastic that's coming out, or this little bit
Hmm.
of extra that we have here? Like, I'd like to use it on this, and kind of you can even have that conversation like, all right, do I need to have or are we in a place where like, are we having a conversation about every single purchase? Or are we only
Hmm.
having a conversation about the big purchases type of
Hmm.
deal?
Yeah.
Because if depending on how that goes, like that can be a huge stressor and can cause all kinds of other issues. So having that understanding and being on the same page definitely will help in this
Right.
new adventure
Absolutely.
of being an at-home parent and maybe not being the breadwinner for your family for the very first time too.
Very good point. Because a lot of times we come into it like, well, wait, what do I, what is my value? I'm not bringing in a paycheck. What am I doing here? And you won't see like a return on investment with your kids for a very long time. You don't recognize how very, very helpful and useful you are for at least a few years. And having the understanding that, okay, my contribution, the way I provide for my family, which is what I want to do, is not financial right now, or it's
Yeah.
less financial. It's more, I need to be here to teach them, to feed them, to clean up after them, and just help them grow into amazing, wonderful, caring, loving, strong adults. That
Yeah.
is a long term investment that you do not see a paycheck for.
Mm.
And understanding that you have incredible value without a paycheck. You're still 100% a man, because I see that a lot. Like, how can I be a man if I'm not? No, 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 no. This isn't women's work, buddy.
No.
This isn't, I'm not doing women's work. I am doing parent work.
Yep.
Wherever that falls, whatever gender I am, whatever biological sex I am, it doesn't matter. This is the work that needs to be done. And as a man, I'm going to do the work that needs to be done. Does it mean I need to have a tea party with my daughter? Okay, I'll do that. You know, they're the thing that, like, if a child comes up and offers you a play telephone, you take it and answer it.
Yes, you
It's just
do.
just what you do. Come on, it doesn't matter who you are. That's what you do. If you need to get your nails painted, if you need to get your hair braided, if you need to get anything that you might consider non-manly, drop all that, because
Yeah.
you're a
And if you
parent now. You're a
and
dad.
if
That's
you're
where
in a
you
if
focus.
you're in a questioning point of like, oh, like that's not manly or whatever else, I highly suggest doing a Google search on some of the most manly seen dads out there in the world today
Hmm.
who, you know, like guys like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock,
Right.
have posted some amazing videos of what he does with his kids and just, this dude is one of the one of the most manliest guys out there as far as like for what he does for his profession and movies and things like that. And he's
Hmm.
willing to, when his daughter says, "Let's have a tea party," or "Let's I want to do I want to do makeup," or
Yeah.
whatever. Dude sits down and interacts with his kid, and
Yeah.
that's exactly like that's what a dad needs to
Hmm.
do. Like it's
I'm,
fun, and
yeah.
don't worry
I'm,
about you, especially too, like for the most part you're in your own house. Like
hmm. Yeah.
no
Let
one's
it
gonna
go.
see it unless you're
Let it
somebody
go.
who's gonna be like,
That's
I'm
it.
gonna post this, and then you got to understand like that's when the world gets to
Yeah.
see what's
The
going on.
the
So
internet is a mean place. The
yeah,
internet
yeah,
doesn't like you. The internet runs on hate
yeah,
and
yeah,
porn, but yeah, mostly hate.
yeah. It is an evil place that
Yeah, it just
it
is.
has
And just
it has entertainment and
it's
stuff to it, but
fantastic.
definitely there is
Yeah.
definitely a negative side to it for sure. I think too, like, self-care, we always talk about self-care, and
Yes.
I was talking about the fact that sometimes it's hard to have that conversation about I just need some time to get away or
Yeah.
whatever, but you have to be vocal about that. You need to have something set up, like that can even be part of the routine as well, like, hey, like I know by Thursday most weeks, man, I need a few hours to just
Hmm.
go do something that's just me, like whatever that is. Like
Yeah.
if it's just to
Yeah.
go on a walk and maybe like, have some time to yourself, or I like to call up somebody and just talk with them while I'm walking or whatever, however that is,
Yeah.
having that set up as one, an expectation. Two, understanding that there has to be some flexibility in it if, the world decides to turn on its head while, things are going on in life. And
Right.
three, that it's not something that you're like, oh, I can't do this. Like, but it's understood by you and your partner that this is important for having good morale in
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah, exactly. And having that time to yourself, very, very important
Yeah.
because you're going to spend the entirety of your life taking care of other people. You got to find that break. You got
Yeah.
to, and self-care is best care, period. It's just
I yeah,
hands
there's
down.
I forget who it is. There's a lady on TikTok. I don't know, I remember her name or anything like that. I have to look it up and post it later. But basically, like, I've come across her stuff, and she's constantly talking about, at-home parents
Hmm.
and just anybody in like the primary care world, that it is important to have self-care for yourself. You
Yeah.
got to be able to snap out of what you're doing and realize that you need to also take care of yourself. And it is that whole mentality of putting the mask on you first and then helping others around you.
Right.
And I really enjoy the fact like she's an older lady, and just the fact that she's in that mindset and she's talking about it on TikTok is huge.
Yep.
Like I said, I can't remember her name. I'll probably come across a video of it and I can send it to you later, and I'll
Okay,
definitely
cool.
post it in the show
Yeah.
notes
Put it
so
on the
people can
notes. Yeah.
see it. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's stuff like that. Like I just encourage, like, seeing that encouragement and being like, all right, great, like somebody else gets it, this is awesome, like that too can be a way to just
Hmm.
feel more empowered to have that
Yeah.
conversation. But definitely self-care, whatever it is, like
Yeah. Whatever
make
that
it.
looks like for you, and do it every day. Do it every week. Put it in your schedule. Talk with your partner. Make sure your partner's doing it as well.
Yeah,
Finding that time when it's just for you. It's
yeah.
very, very, even if it's just a shower. And when your kid's an infant, a shower, I think, is probably the only self care you're going to get. You're going to just
I
get to
I have
come in and
never
be
had
like,
an issue with getting like, I know that a lot of dads talk about that. I have
yeah.
never had an issue with breaking away to get a shower or anything like that. So I
When they
don't
were
know.
babies, infants
Yeah,
in
it was
diapers,
never an
well
issue.
done. Whatever you
I
did.
I mean, it was like
I'm saying it was
there's
Corey. I'm saying she did it somehow.
I mean, if she was it was one of those deals where like she would feed the kids, I would go take a shower. When I'd
Hmm.
get done taking a shower, I'd take the kids, she'd go get a shower. We never missed that
Self
kind of thing.
care.
Like
Self care.
it's just not letting those kind of things like, trip you up. Like it is just integrating the kids into life, and they're just a part of it.
Hmm.
So That's yeah. I I always felt bad I do feel bad every time I see dads who are like, man, I haven't had a shower, like this is going on, or I finally got a shower, and I'm like, man, like I I can't resonate with that at all, and so hope
Well, it's good that you can look beyond your own experience and understand that other people have different lived experiences.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I
It's very
mean,
progressive of you. Well done.
all right, all right, all right. So yeah, so we've basically hit on, quite a few different things there that are very helpful for, new babies, that kind of stuff. Toddlers, when they start actually getting on their feet and they're moving around or whatnot, that's a whole new world. That
Hmm.
is you have at this point opened up Pandora's box of get ready to chase. Like,
Yeah, and the more I have heard more times that they say my kid didn't go from crawling to walking. My kid went from crawling to running.
yep.
And that's the reality of it. When they understand they can be mobile, they can get to that thing, whatever that thing is, they will get to it faster than you can realize. And you're like, wait,
Hmm.
wait, 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 wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. And it's weird things like cords. I don't know what it was. Every time my kids they started walking and I'm like, oh, that's neat. And they would go find cords and just play with them. And I'm like, get off. It's electricity. Stop it,
Yeah.
But whatever it is, they see, oh, a muffin. Oh, I can get that muffin. I can get there, grab that muffin and smash it in my face faster than you can, Dad. And they're right. They're
Well,
there.
yeah. Well, talking about integrating your kids into your lifestyle and things like that, like, there's this conversation about like, oh, I've got to baby proof my home. Like, I've got to, do all this stuff. Not every place you go to is baby proof.
Mm-mm.
So I always find that logic does not work. I am a big proponent of not going by that and going by home proofing your kid. So, in other
Yeah.
words, you are spending the time really just like
Teaching them.
having these, teaching them, having these conversations with your kid about like, all right, like, these things are dangerous. Like, don't do that, like,
Mm-hmm.
and really like having that, like, and it can get tedious, but at the same time too, if you work on it consistently enough, I am just a big advocate for like it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like and every kid's not the same. I get that. There are kids who have definite higher thresholds of, you know, difficulty or just getting, them into a place if they can even understand it. However it is, like it's not going to work for everybody. I know that. I get that. And I don't think, a lot of the things that we're talking about, like it's not going to work for everybody. It's
Right, right.
not a pretty package with a bow on top of it. But if there are things that you can do to set yourself and your child up for success when you go out places where you maybe don't have to have as much worry about those kind of things, like over time, it's worth it in that aspect. And so like I know, you know, our kids, if they go to somebody's house, we've never like put the locks on like cabinets or anything like that or drawers.
Mm-hmm.
We've just had straight up conversations or even just, straight up been like, no, that's not for you to get into,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And so we've never had like we've never had them go in and just pull all the pots and pans out and throw them all over the kitchen. So I know
You should.
you can hate me.
Curiosity, man. You should encourage that. And I only say that because I'm grandfather age now, and it wouldn't bother me as much if my grandkids, if I had grandkids here, I would be like, yes,
Uh-huh.
pull them all out, all the Tupperware, all the pans, whatever. But yeah, but I do think you would agree that it is good to safeguard your house. As in, my first example is the fireplace. That stone mantle around the fireplace. When you've got little kids, I think you should just whatever those things they look like pool noodles, but you put
Oh yeah.
around that edge, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So things like that, and that's still, I think, considered baby proofing. But I think what we would probably agree on is that you can definitely go too far. Come
Oh
on,
yeah.
your kid
Oh yeah.
needs to know. Well, and I think that's too. That's fatherhood, and we've talked about it before. But like you need to tell your kid, look, that's dangerous. That could hurt you. And then you kind of let them figure it out. And sometimes some kids, the only way they're going to figure out they shouldn't climb that tree is if they fall. I mean, there's
Yep.
just lessons you have to learn on your own. But again, safeguarding them, giving them these are the dangers. But especially with toddlers, there are things that I think you automatically just need to know. We need to put this away. We need to put this away. This is, I own a few swords and bladed weapons, let's say, a few, and I put them all up where the kids couldn't get them.
Yeah.
That's
No.
just common sense, and I think we agree on
Yeah.
that. But going too far, all of the outlets covered. Come
Oh,
on. I think we're okay. Like all on every single cabinet, every single drawer, there's a catch, there's a lock. I don't
you
know.
know
I
what
think we're
happens with
okay with that.
those little outlet plug-in things that are covers or whatever is that you use, like you go and cover everything or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I need to use one, and you like have to figure out how to pry it open or
Yep.
whatever with a butter knife, which is,
Maybe not a butter knife. Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah, but
mean.
it
But
won't come
anyway,
out
but
with
you
your
get,
fingers. You gotta, yeah.
yeah, it won't come out of your fingers, like, and then you pry it out and you just drop it because you put
Yep.
it somewhere, or you put it somewhere
Yeah.
that's in grabbable reach of your child, and you
Uh-huh.
plug in your thing and you walk away. Next thing you know, you walk back in and that child has that plug chewing in their
Yep.
mouth, like, and you're
Yep.
just like,
Sticking out of their mouth. It's like, is that a
okay,
pacifier? No, that's
no,
that's a outlet cover. It's fine.
but you know that that has happened more times.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And anything on the ground. Toddlers don't believe anything in the world exists unless they put their mouth on it.
Yep,
That is just I've seen that a million times. I'm like, what are you? We
and it's
had
all
an
edible.
we had an island like in the middle, of the kitchen, and I'm sitting there and I'm cooking, I don't know, baking, whatever I'm doing, and one of my kids comes over and they just put their tongue on the side of the counter, and I'm like, don't lick, and they go and walk the entire 3 foot length of the cabinet licking it. I'm like, what are you doing? And of course, the kid doesn't know. They looked at me like, I just did I put my tongue on it. I was like, no.
That's why when
Stop."
you see that stuff, you see those things in like cartoons,
Mm-hmm.
like all the time, like Family Guy and that kind of stuff. And you're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious. And you're like, but that's reality.
That actually happened.
That
That's why it's
actually
so
happened.
funny.
You
Yeah.
watch cartoon movies about kids like that's not
And
just something they came up with.
yeah.
They've
And
experienced that.
I had people without kids. They're like, you get sick all the time. What is wrong with you? I'm like, "You- no, my child literally just licked the entire countertop. Now, if I hadn't
Yep.
seen it, I would put my hand on it. And later I would have their spit every place. No, you don't understand. They're germ factories. They're
Yep.
wonderful, amazing, and I
We
love
created
them.
petri dishes
But
and then we just carry them
yes,
around everywhere.
right. And just spread everything everywhere. God,
Yeah.
yeah. So get ready to get sick. Yeah, and try to be healthy. Do your best. Self care, exercise, drink lots of water, but be ready for every single cold in the world, especially when school starts. If you send your kids off to school, they're going to come back sick.
Always have
Others
airborne or
too.
emergency or something
Right.
like that
Yeah. Keep
nearby.
your vitamin C up. Yeah. Get some zinc or whatever.
So true.
Take care of yourself. But
Um,
potty training.
yeah,
I
potty
want to talk
training.
about potty training. We know we've had an entire show about potty training before, and I think we really need to revisit that and get those guys on that were having struggles and see how they did. I think the biggest lesson I learned with potty training is it's the kid's decision. When generally most, especially if you're talking about with neurotypical kids, they are ready when they're ready, and they're not going to do it until they're ready. And you can encourage them, you can push them, and there's a general idea of, I think it's 18 months to 3 years is like the scientific studies have shown that's about the regular age. But if they're not ready, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And it is frustrating, it is irritating. There's nothing I think that I dislike more than seeing my kid fresh out of diapers walk behind the couch and bend over and hear him grunting because they're pooping in their pants, and it's happened. I'm like, no, don't. We fixed this. We weren't doing this anymore. We didn't have this problem. Nope. And I'm not saying which kid, I'm not naming names. I'm just saying that happens to children. I don't want
Yeah.
my kids to come back later in therapy and like, my dad talked about my potty problems on the podcast. And,
Hey, it's all good.
but
Well,
yeah.
also, yeah, I agree. Definitely. I mean, they're gonna figure it out. There are definitely situations where it might take longer or whatnot, but yeah, I mean, if you're forcing that, like, it's just gonna make it that much harder,
Mm-hmm.
because at that point you're getting frustrated, they're getting frustrated, you're getting nowhere.
Right. No longer
So
helping.
yeah, exactly. So definitely just be, kind of be aware of that. You have on here reading to your child. I love reading to my kids. I always
Hmm.
enjoyed doing that. And then also too, along with that, like teaching them how to read as well. Like you said, like pointing out things like the McDonald's sign and being like, that's an M. And like that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Well, and if you think about it, because people are like, well, when do kids start reading? Way earlier than you think, because reading is simply looking at a symbol and understanding what that symbol means. Now,
Yep.
the alphabet, that obviously takes a little bit longer, but I don't know how prevalent it is, but it seemed like me. I've never met a kid that was 3 that couldn't see the McDonald's sign and know what it was. They see that golden arch and they're like, McDonald's, right? And that's the beginning of reading. And then sitting with your child, reading with them, getting to the point where they start recognizing letters. Having my child read to me was the most amazing and comforting and sweet and honestly annoyingly irritating thing because they took so long. But it was incredible. And to
Yeah.
see them now like pick up a book and just start reading, and books that I like to see, like, where are you at? Are you're in fifth grade? Are you reading fifth grade books? Are you please reading college level books? Because I'm a nerd and I think that means something. But getting them to the point where they are reading, because reading is one of the most, I think, fundamental parts of learning.
Yeah.
And learning is something I think we should always be doing. You should always be picking up new things. You should always be curious, always looking at the world and going, huh, well, what's that about? Well, let me Google it. Or what's this book say about it? You know?
Yeah. Well, and
So
two, I
start
think
early.
yeah, exactly. Start early. I pulled this up here. The Dolly Parton Imagination Library is
Yes.
an amazing program where if you have not heard of this, I'll put it in the show notes, but it's imaginationlibrary.com. Dolly Parton has an organization that she works with that basically as soon as your kid's born, like you can enroll them in this,
Mm-hmm.
and they will get free books sent to them until they're the age of 5, and
Awesome.
they're going to be age appropriate books. So that's the other really cool part to it.
Mm-hmm.
But things like that are just a great way to give your kid a chance to see that. I think
Mm-hmm.
too, like there's a couple of different apps. I'll have to look them up, but where you can actually have like an audible book and it'll highlight the words as you go. So they can actually
Nice.
hear the word and then see it lit up and be like, "Oh, that's what
Yeah.
that is." Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And so there's apps like that out there for being able to do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like like ABC Mouse is another great one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah.
we did ABC Mouse for quite a while because it's just a great way to do like educational games, and then the kids were able to learn a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course like you get points to be able to decorate like this virtual room or whatever. My kids ate that stuff up.
Yeah.
They love that. So
And
yeah, just being able to use those things.
on top of reading, the library. If you're wondering what can I do with my kids, the library is your best friend. Get
Yeah.
to know your media specialists, your librarians, whoever they might be. Meet them, learn their names, and they will be your absolute best resource for so many things because the library offers a dozen different things weekly about
Yeah.
what they might be, and even up
And
into
check your
teen years.
and check your library and see if they have the book The Ultimate Stay-at-Home Dad Guide by Shannon Carpenter, because that is a great resource as well. And most
Mm-hmm.
libraries are carrying it because it was published by Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it's not, you can get it on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also a lot of times request from the library that they purchase it,
Yeah.
that kind of deal. So that way there is a copy available for any other dads type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. And that's such a good book. We
it
should probably
is.
should have led with that. We should probably put that up there with
No, it's
listen to
okay.
the
If it's
best
in there.
podcast, join the network, listen to the Ultimate Stay at Home Dad. Now
Or
read the
read it.
Ultimate Stay at Home Dad
You
guidebook
can listen to it too. Yeah.
and go to the convention.
And go to the convention. Yep.
Gotta
That's
say,
the
gotta
other
talk
thing.
about the convention every time, right? So it's a thing. It's so good. But getting back to the library and reading and how very valuable it is, because again, that lets you have something you're doing with your child And if nothing else, you go to the library and you can get a few seconds, maybe with another parent, and you can just kind of get that, hey, hey, I know, I see you at home, dad, because I'm doing it too. And yes, I
Yep.
love that grubby little smelly thing,
Yep.
but they're breaking me.
And
I'm
don't
not as
have
strong as I thought I was.
and don't feel like you can't go talk to the other parents, especially if there's another dad
Mhm.
there, like definitely
Yes,
going over.
absolutely.
Because, like,
Yeah.
one, he might not be an at-home dad. He might be a dad that works a different shift, or
Hmm.
maybe like
Right.
there's an on-off type of thing where, maybe they're like firefighters and police officers, for instance, are like four
Yes.
days on, 3 days off kind of
Right.
thing. And so, like, this is their opportunity to spend time with their kid. Also, too, it's an opportunity for them to maybe meet another dad who is going to be in that realm, and then they don't feel like, oh, great, like I'm going to this big room with just moms, and it's just me, and it's just eyeballs all around, like watching what I'm going, what I'm doing, if I'm messing up, kind of thing. But oh,
Hmm.
there's another dad, like great, like
Right.
let's
Right.
hang out, kind of deal.
Yep.
So I
Absolutely.
definitely, yeah, libraries are amazing. Museums are amazing, zoos are amazing, parks are amazing, like just
Yep.
great places for having that kind of interaction for
Hmm.
sure. So, and then too, like, finding a way, like if you can, like to connect with other local dads in that realm as well is always important. There's plenty of ways to do that. I mean, the National At Home Dads website has a spot where you can find local groups. I know through All Parents Welcome and Dad Supporting Dads is with that. Like you've got like the national group has its different like social media things, and then for like the local side of it, like there's a WhatsApp community of being able to have even just a small local group where you have that communication, which I think is awesome. I know that City Dads had a thing going for quite a while, and it was always in a major metropolitan area, and now that like dad supporting dads has kind of taken that on, like they've even made it to even on a more like micro level to be able to have these smaller groups that still have communication. But that's the key, like being able to have those kind of connections. The virtual twice a week dad lounge that we put on Mondays and Thursday nights is a great way to just have some time to hang
Hmm.
out, hear some crazy stories, or share some
Get
crazy
advice
stories.
and yeah.
Yeah.
Again, mentor in a men's group.
Yep.
That comes back to it for me every single time. Because the first thing we talked about before you even get started talking with another at-home dad, figure out, hey, what's this like?
Yeah.
Find that mentor, find somebody that's been there and done that, and lean into them. And then finding that group of like-minded people that can support you, that can hear you and see you, which are great, real progressive.
The last thing that we'll hit on
Hmm.
before we close up,
Hmm.
because we've kind of been talking about just different areas of kids and growth and things like that, is what is your everyday carry type things that you have on you when you're out? And those are going to change, of course, year by
Hmm.
year, just based upon how your kids are or whatever. But just some essential things that like either they can be carried in your pocket mostly, like some guys have like go bags
Hmm.
or whatever it is.
Cargo
For
shorts.
cargo shorts, yeah, exactly. Whatever it is, like just things that are like I find these to be essential items for
Hmm.
being out with my kids. And the number one thing I get, I love what you have on here, Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Band-Aids. Like doesn't
You can
matter.
go a long way on just, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
doesn't matter like what, like your kid's like, "Oh, I did this. I need a Band-Aid." Great. Like give
Yep.
Band-Aid, whatever.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. If it's almost like a sticker. It's
yeah.
okay. Here's another one. It's fine. It's fine. And they're cheap. They're easy to keep with you. And I think they're probably the most valuable thing for parents for any kid under really 10.
Yep.
After that stage, maybe they get a little less involved with it. But yeah,
You could be a
absolutely
hero
Band-Aid.
in a situation if you've got band-aids and somebody else doesn't have band-aids.
Right. Yeah, and you are. Yeah, you win. You
Not
win
all
parenting.
heroes wear capes, but all heroes carry band-aids.
Carry Band-Aids. Yep.
Yeah, I
Snacks is a thing.
snacks. Yep.
Having snacks. I mean, even now, again, my youngest is 11 now. I carry I carry a first aid kit, which is a step up, from Band-Aids. But I think at the level that I'm at, let's say, and at the age my kids are at, I need a first aid kit. I need to be
Yeah.
able to look at this is going to be a bigger thing. But I still have they have the little bravery box. It's a little
Hmm.
metal tin that has band-aids in it, and it's got like a dinosaur or whatever. I've got one of those in there because again, band-aids always come back to it, you know.
Yep. Well,
Um,
into like a lot of kids are really big into like the cross body bags. Like that's a big
mhm,
thing. My kids, whenever we go somewhere, it doesn't matter where it is, honestly. If we're leaving the house, we're gonna be gone for a while, whatever.
mhm,
They'll run over to like the snack cabinet and just like throw what they need, what they want in there.
mhm,
And like there's no like, can I have a snack? It's like they're good. Like they
mhm.
being 12, like they know what they need.
Yep.
And so I have no qualms about it. I think we had a conversation years ago about, snacks and just, especially in the summertime or whatever, but like just have places where like they can just walk up and grab certain
Hmm.
snacks, and it's like the more, and two, like,
A
it's
food
upon you,
box.
like a food box. Yeah. Have help, whatever healthy or whatever it is type of deal. Like,
Hmm.
I always put candy up out of the way, honestly, for the most part. Like,
Yeah, yeah. You
but,
try to give them
but
more
yeah,
healthy.
but everything else is down there. So yeah, I
Hmm.
think that Band-Aids, snacks, those are all super important. Of course,
Got
like,
to have
little kids die.
access to water. I wouldn't say I carry it on me because of the weight, but like I always have a thing of a plat of water bottles or something, or a jug, a gallon jug or something that we can get water. But that's not
Yeah,
my everyday carry necessarily. But
that is
as long
my
as it's
everyday carry.
accessible,
That
I
is,
don't carry it on me. It's too
oh,
heavy, but I like
I
have
do.
it with me.
Yeah. I've got a crossbody bag that's actually got a carabiner on it,
Hmm.
and it fits perfectly, like, on me with
A
it.
carabiner.
A carabiner. Yeah.
Hmm. Does it
Yeah.
have a? I thought you were going to say a hydration thing
No, no, no. I don't carry that. I just got a
because I know
bottle.
you have
Like,
one.
I do have one, yes, but I just carry a bottle and like carabiner it to me, like, and that works fine.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Gotcha. Just hook
If
it
I'm
on
gonna be
there.
more active, yes, then I'll get a hydration bag and
Hmm.
go that route or whatever. So, but we also have two like hip bags that have like holders on the sides, so
Hmm.
you
Nice.
can put bottles on there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
use that for a lot of different things. So
Oh, that's
that's
better.
yeah. So we've definitely water, and if I'm not having to carry it, that's a plus in itself. So
Hmm.
we've come up with ways because like you always know, like if your kid's gonna carry a water bottle, you're eventually carrying their water bottle.
Yeah,
Like
you are.
that's
My
how that works.
kids starting at diaper age, right? Two, they had a backpack. They had a small little backpack and it would
Yep.
have two diapers, a little tiny thing of wipes, and generally something else they needed. It might be a toy or something like that. My kids learned from the earliest, as soon as you learn how to walk, you're carrying your own stuff.
Yep.
Now, I absolutely still carry their stuff. It
I
it
like that
didn't
idea though.
stick, but it's an idea of yeah, you have to have things when you go out. You need to provide for yourself and what that's going to be. And I have to say, having them have a little backpack with their diaper changing stuff in it really made diaper changing easier.
Yeah.
It really
Well,
was something they were invested in. They were doing the work. It's their diaper, that helped a lot. But even after that, yeah, okay, you want a snack, put it in your backpack.
I think it
Put
just
your,
gets kids ready for school. Like, hey, grab your
yes.
backpack, we're leaving type of deal. Like
Mhm.
they know. Like
And
that's the
just
biggest thing in our
life.
family. Yeah.
We're going to
Yeah.
go to the park, get what you need,
Grab
you
your
know,
water,
yep.
get your backpack with some snacks,
Sunscreen, bug
whatever it
spray,
is.
all that stuff. And
Yep.
learning them to teaching them to solve their own problems. So,
Yep. No,
anyway,
definitely. Love that. No, I think we could go on and on about this definitely for different things, but I think that this is a really good start to the
hmm.
conversation. And hopefully, between the most recent podcast episode that went out where we were saying, hey, if you want to come on the show and talk, like I think
Hmm.
that, getting guys to come on and have that conversation about this is going to just elevate it and move it forward even more. So looking forward to that. This has been awesome. I'll have, of course, all kinds of links in the show notes, so don't miss out on that. But I think we're good for today. So have a great one. We'll talk to you all next week and see you later.
Good night, everybody.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.